Okay, Delhi Capitals now sitting pretty on the points table comfortably, now have completed their 8 games and sitting on
I think they could have
12 points.
Yeah, 12 points with first or second. I'm not too sure about that, but possibility that they would have come on first because they have
No, I don't think so. By just chasing it in 18 overs,
Yeah.
I think they will still be slightly behind GT. I think they'll
I
stay in
think
second.
so too.
Yeah, little bit.
But doesn't matter. They are sitting on top of the pile, same as Gujarat Titans. 8 games with 12 points. 2 games you would need in the remaining 6 matches that you have. What a fantastic position to be in. The next target should of course be top 2 finish. Not think of playoffs, top 2 finish. They can do it. Even someone as nervous as Shashwat and Harshit, who will join us in some time now, who did not have any trust in their team, even they can now feel confident that the playoffs is coming.
Now,
Am I right?
I'll be no. Of journey
You're
of
not-
no,
you're
I'm
not
telling
confident.
you. I'm telling you. Journey of a fan is never easy in an IPL. Now that the stress of no qualifying or not qualifying is over, the next stress is that I hope that the team finishes
My
on.
question is simple.
Yeah, that should I be? Am I comfortable?
Have you qualified?
Yeah, qualified.
Finally?
Finally, yes.
Accepted?
Accepted.
Done, dusted.
and dusted,
Now
yeah.
nothing, your bad phase that's
Yeah. All
peaking
done.
too early,
All done.
nothing.
This actually, you know what why I was a little scared. The reason behind that was that, to begin with, it's easy. You can have a couple of good games, and also the other teams are still finding their combination. So you just overtake a little bit over there. But as soon as this middle phase comes, lots of teams who are experienced teams and who have good personnel and have all the resources. Once everything starts falling in place for them, suddenly all the teams who took the advantage to begin with, they can be at par. And that was truly the situation on this points table. After Delhi lost the previous game to the Mumbai Indians, after that, since then, it's been like this, that it could have gone either way because all the teams were at par, 10 points, 5 teams were locked at 10 points. So all that advantage sort of had gone away. But today you have won, so now you can be comfortable, because if you would have lost today, then you were playing RCB and then tougher oppositions to come. That would have been very,
RCB
very
is
tricky.
tougher.
RCB is going to be a tough game, of course.
You had put them bottom of the table. That's why I'm asking.
I had, but
So
now
that you're
I changed
counting
that.
them. See now how times have changed. You are now saying
It
that
took me-
RCB match will be a tough encounter coming up.
Tough as in a high intensity encounter. And in T20, I think if the first 6 overs, any team has good first 6 overs, if their team is in a bad form, they can still sort of, scare you out a little bit. Just
Okay, first thing I want to know from everyone, KL Rahul gets to his 50 against a franchise where he did not feel loved. I'm not saying this. He said it, right?
He didn't say this. We should not do. He
What did
said
he
that I'm feeling loved over here at Delhi. He didn't say that I wasn't loved
No,
there.
he never said. This is before he joined Delhi, no? He had said something like, you want to be in a place where you are loved or something like that. He didn't say that he was not being loved, but he said something like, you need some... This statement came before the
But
IPL.
even Sanjeev Goenka in that sense has got what he wanted. He said, I want players who can play for the team. Rishabh Pant is playing for the team. He's not playing at all. He's sending others who are more capable than him.
We'll talk about Rishabh Pant's batting order a little later. But first, what did everyone make of KL Rahul's celebrations, or the lack of it, or the subdued celebration after reaching 50? Was it any sign? What was he trying to do? What is your interpretation?
He's a silent killer, KL Rahul in IPL 2025, okay? 2 matches where he had to show his worth, okay? One was the RCB encounter. And Chinnaswamy, he said, this is my home. Now, he let the bat perform in front of a franchisee which did not value him. And he transformed into even Nasir Hussain for a bit. You remember 2002 NatWest final when he got that 100? He did this, pointed to the back of his shirt. Here, it wasn't as dramatic as that.
But what was the gesture showing? That
I let the
Rahul...
bat do the talking, and
No, he-
my name is Rahul. I let the bat.
No,
do the
there's
talking.
another possibility because his jersey number is 1. It's a possibility that he's pointing out that number 1, I'm 1. That is also a possibility because his jersey number is such.
Possibilities are endless.
My name is KL Rahul, and I'm here to perform.
Or it sometimes is like respect this name. Like that's what Nasir did, right? Like the name of the back of my jersey, respect it. See it, respect it.
He's delivered 2 performances wherein clutch situations when you look at it. I mean, against
3
RCB.
na?
I mean,
Third this
I'm
is.
talking about where the situation was stacked against him. He did it against RCB, won them that match out of a near impossible situation. Here, it wasn't a pressure situation, but he had a statement to make after, especially the way how he left Lucknow Super Giants. So that is why today Lucknow Super Giants will feel frazzled because whatever they did, the wheel of karma is round, and today it's bit them back in a big way, and I'm happy for that.
He also becomes the fastest to complete 5,000 runs in IPL history.
Where are those haters here?
But then, in that sense, he's quite an underrated player in IPL because he gets a lot of hate for his strike rate and T20 cricket and so on and so forth. But this is again not the most amount of runs, but the fastest to 5,000 runs.
And the youngest too, if I'm not wrong.
There you go.
See, KL Rahul is the most misunderstood cricketer that we have ever had in this generation, where there have been greats like Rohit, Virat. He is right up there as one of the most misunderstood cricketers because if he has a slump of 3-4 years, the vultures will be out to devour him.
More than
Number one.
Are you saying misunderstood or underrated? Because misunderstood, I think it's something that's more related to the personality. In that sense, I don't think he's
No, it's the same thing.
Same.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
In this entire Indian batting unit, okay, when one individual struggles to even deliver, when he's just pushed up the order, KL Rahul continuously shuffling up, down. Someday he's 1, someday he's 4, someday he's 3. He continues to deliver. Yes, conveniently we look at strike rate. Oh, it wasn't good, but he was the run getter in 3-4 seasons of over 600 runs. But you have to also understand the franchisees from where he was coming from. PBKS 1-2. That's it. Game over at 3. And remember, PBKS at that time wasn't the PBKS which had Nicky P at that stage. He was just coming up. You look at LSG. He was tasked with ensuring, okay, the batting order had to revolve entirely around him. So that is why KL Rahul, when you look at 616, 626, 673 years. But look at the franchise.
Orange cap, he won.
But orange cap, look at that crucial column. That was held out against him. What orange cap, yaar? 135, 138, 129. What difference did it make?
No, to be very, very honest, see, that was a problem with KL Rahul, and I'm not too sure if that has changed now or not. It's just that the kind of today was a tailor-made situation for KL Rahul. In Chepauk, it was a tailor-made situation. Against RCB, again,
It wasn't a tailor-made.
It wasn't a tailor-made situation, but we know that KL Rahul, when the run rate isn't above 10 or 12, and whatever the situation is, however many wickets you have lost, I personally can still bank on a KL Rahul. And you know that KL Rahul can bail you out of such situations when the team is down and out. But when it comes to the strike rate, I don't think that criticism was ever wrong on him.
No, again, you look at RCB match. This is the same bunch here who are saying that KL Rahul, when he plays in any team, it's a T19. It isn't a T20.
But that was true.
So, this is currently true. That is why I'm saying
Yeah, it's
you have
true.
to look everything in a 360-degree thing. What critics outside and whatever social media sees is only 180 degrees. Yeah, I'm sorry. It can't be that. It has to be this. Conveniently, you look at the current. Conveniently, we forget the past. Look at KL Rahul as a whole unit. He's ticking all the boxes which were needed. You deliver in a crunch situation, tick. You deliver and silence the critics at a franchisee that didn't value him, tick. You look at every position I have contributed in different varying circumstances, tick. Now, if that isn't clutch, And yes, you'll say, oh yeah, but look at that. Only 323 runs, 64. He plays for only himself. He doesn't play for the team. That is where all the numbers get totally whitewashed in KL Rahul's case. And here, 4 different matches, 4 different situations, he's delivered. And that is why Delhi are on the top, and that solidity.
But one thing in all the games, what was common was that the template that was required was exactly suits to a KL Rahul. And I think
one game he went berserk.
RCB.
RCB game, later on, When he switched gears at the later stages of that.
But the thing is, see, more than what is required, I think we have to be mindful of the conditions as well. I don't think this season you've had conditions where they've been very high scoring encounters.
Being successful.
No, but see,
and so is GT, very similar case.
No, but the thing is that there were a lot of seasons where he got 600 plus runs at that strike rate, where there were good batting tracks and he could get those many runs. So see, on a given day he can. I think what KL is, and you have to really understand him as a person, you could see it from the celebrations as well. I can think of many cricketers, they would have had fist bumps and over the top celebrations trying to prove a point to the franchise that in a way let go of him.
Ishan Kishan did that.
No, I'm not naming anybody. I can think of many players who would have done it. There are so many players who would have done it because you felt vindicated. You felt, okay, this franchise did, and now I've played a match-winning knock, and I want to show them. I think KL also has that inside him. I think the 57 that he's gotten today are motivated, or he was thinking about how the franchise happened. And see, it cannot be a coincidence that he left it and he said that doesn't matter wherever I go, I just want to go to a franchise that will be loved. So clearly he had a point to prove. But see, his celebration and the way he's gone about it, in the 50 didn't celebrate much, and then even when he won the match, remember, he walks off very calmly. As I said, not too many players. That I think is also a reflection of his personality, that by nature he does seem to be a bit of an introvert, a person who likes to be by himself. And I think it is such people then who then sometimes get misunderstood, as Siddharth pointed out, and it is this personality sometimes that require a good environment to flourish. I think that's just the sort of a person that he is. See, there are others who are fighters.
I just don't. I'll tell you why I don't agree over here, because he did exactly the opposite thing against RCB in Bengaluru, where he had that animated celebration. I think today, just that celebration, and why it would have been a little more subtle, because I don't think he would want to make it. See, because if that celebration would have been over animated, then today all of us would have been talking about the fact that maybe this is a message to the Lucknow Super Giants. Maybe he did not want it to go down that way, and that's why it was subtle.
No, but
against RCB, that was a statement that he gave that day.
No. Even in RCB's statement, whatever he said, I don't think it was over the top celebration. I think what all he said is that this is my ground and I've done it, which he did a similar thing by showing his name as well. So he's sending his point across. I'm saying in the manner in which he does it, his mannerism, his just demeanor is such that it'll never be fist bumps or screaming or jumping, and that sort of a person he's not. And that in a way is a reflection of his personality. That's why I say there's certain players like him who sometime will do well if they're in an environment that is a bit of a cocoon that kind of protects them and their personality, and then tend to do well. There are others who, doesn't matter how the environment is around you or what people are saying, even if it's not conducive, they're so driven that environment also drives them, saying, okay, you're creating an environment for me not to do well, I'll go and show you how I can. And that's their personality. I think KL likes that, and to be fair to Delhi, I think, credit to them. They have kind of provided that platform. They have given him the space of playing that way. See, again, it wouldn't have been easy for him to see an Akshar become a captain, even though he's been captain before. But I think somewhere down inside he realized that this season is not going to be about his captaincy. This season is going to be about him proving a point with the bat. And remember, he missed the first 2 games for Delhi.
Just the first
game.
This is the first game.
Yeah, he came back for the second.
Yeah. He was given rest for one more game.
I thought he missed 2 games.
He played that Vizag game against SRH when
I think
he hit 15 of 5. And then after that, he continued on his...
How many games has he played this season?
He didn't play the first game against LSG.
He has played 7 games already.
He's played 7.
I thought he missed 2.
No,
he missed 1.
But in 7
he
games...
was given off for 2, I remember, but he came back for the second itself.
Dedication.
See, you have to understand that there is a lot of hurt, backdrop of hurt, the saga of hurt that KL Rahul has had to undergo. And it all began.
We all know what happened in that conversation, what exactly was talked about.
Well, why did the conversation not happen today?
Maybe they didn't. No, this is not possible that they won't cut it. If
No,
it would
they
have
were,
happened. But I didn't see
convers-
Sanjeev Goenka.
He was there.
He was there. He was there.
Not
He was
much.
there.
I didn't see him much. I didn't.
You didn't see him.
Yeah. No, but because usually more often than not, lots of reactions of him are taken. So that's
They
why.
were.
Does his son wear glasses?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was also there. Both Sanjeev and Shashwat Goenka were there. But then see, there is a big saga.
Might meet after this.
Yeah, there is a big saga of hurt behind KL Rahul and what he's doing in 2025.
Oh, there was.
He didn't even.
Yeah. Yes.
He didn't. He was
There
saying
was
something.
a handshake.
There was
But
a
he was
handshake.
saying something.
Can you show it to our viewers as well?
No. Can't show.
You can show it in the window. 4 seconds.
Yeah. We
In a
can.
window?
Yeah. We can.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah,
like
we
that.
Yeah. So, see, that is a cold professional reaction.
You thought that was cold?
It is cold.
It's very
Normally,
cold.
if you meet an owner, irrespective of everything, there is a bit of you
And your
talk for
ex-owner
7-8
that too.
seconds.
You thought it was?
Very cold. We've seen
No,
Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
why I'm thinking is because usually the time for long conversation happens after everything is done when you're standing. Usually in these handshake you have to move, no? You have to.
But then he was the last in the queue, no?
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of. The owners are in the last.
because he would have started the queue and would have been last when the team came back
Normally,
because he was batting.
8-10 seconds. That would have been it. Some pleasantries, some.
And he
of
didn't
these
even
things.
stop. He was saying something. Sanjeev Goenka. He just kept walking. And especially when you meet an owner with whom you've had so many dinners, so many chats on and off the field.
It is a cold professional reaction. And see, the saga of this hurt culminated right here, okay? Who do you blame for all the T20 World Cup losses? KL Rahul, 21 and 22. Too slow. He plays at T19. Other brief? Oh, whenever KL Rahul has featured, India has not won an ICC.
But I must tell you one thing. I was just looking at it that way. I think credit also to LSG owners. Yeah, I'm just saying that they also didn't need to go and congratulate him. You're not part of my franchise anymore. I don't have to be there.
But then it would
I
have
could
raised
be
a bigger
chan-
talking point.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. They are not. It's not incumbent on them to go and do the team shake hands. I think in this case, as you can clearly see, I think the effort is made, now that I'm seeing it, to go and meet him and congratulate him for that knock. That's not necessarily something that you have to do. It takes a lot. I mean, I can think of a lot of people. I don't know if I'm just trying to think. If I was in that position, probably I wouldn't have gone.
No, but the only thing, you know what, why
knowing
that would not have happened is because, because whatever happened, everybody blamed the owners. It was never,
Sure.
that KL Rahul
Sure.
wasn't ever blamed. And I think after that, a lot of effort was put in to really change that perception of what we have of the owner. And maybe that was not even the case for how we perceive him today or how the fans perceive. Maybe he's not like that sort of a person. And a lot of effort was made after that. Lots of interactions, lots of podcasts and everything were done to change that and change that perception. So that this could be a part of that as well.
No, but I'm saying it again. I'm trying to think. This would not add or subtract from how I'm being perceived.
If I'm not going and meeting KL
Does
Rahul,
not
it
matter. You
might
don't
just-
have. That's what I'm saying. If I was part of the team as an opposition captain and I didn't go and do shake hands as MS Dhoni once did not. In
That became a major talking point.
Yes, that did because he's supposed to.
Yeah, he's supposed to.
But as an owner, I don't have to. That's the difference. I can skip it. That should not be an issue. Whether I go down or talk or not or meet someone, that's absolutely fine.
Because knowing how Sanjeev Goenka is, he's a very hands-on owner when it comes to the cricket games involving Lucknow Super Giants. Had he not done this and knowing the context of KL Rahul, that would have been an even bigger talking
I think it would have been very neutral had you not gone and gone at the end of the game to congratulate you. It could be fine.
Then wouldn't it have fueled the speculations what
It
happened
would have,
in
it would have.
2024? Because It was there, blatantly obvious on camera.
No. If it would be if you're shaking hands with everyone else and not with him, then it makes sense.
I think
You're
KL
not going
Rahul
for
would
it.
have anyway. No, you see, that's what why I'm saying that he was shaking hands with everyone. He was part of that line where both the teams sort
Exactly
of
my
had
point.
that handshake.
Exactly
You're saying
my
that
point.
he could not have been
He
on
doesn't
that line.
need to, is what
Be
my
in that
point is.
line.
Yeah, if today I'm just saying I'm putting myself in his place and I want to avoid a situation, I don't go down, and then you can't question because I'm not gone down and met anybody. I'm not supposed to be doing it. On some games, if I'm doing it, it's fine. But if some games if I'm not doing it, also it's fine. Yes, if I was part of the playing team or the support staff and I'm supposed to walk and then I'm not there, then yes, then I'm conspicuous by my absence, right? But in this case, I don't know. I think it takes a bigger person as well to go and shake his hand and congratulate him.
Because see, everybody of us will agree that KL Rahul's lowest point happened in IPL 2024. When 9.1 overs, 167 was absolutely murdered by Sunrisers Hyderabad.
And then the owner said
The
that
public
you
dressing
surrendered.
down, the public dressing down that was given to KL Rahul. And plus, he's not in the fray for the India scheme of things. His place is not taken, is not guaranteed. All that, he reached rock bottom. His turning point came in March. When finally, he won a major ICC event. And the classy remark that was there, people were asking us what would happen if we lose. And he comes up with that caption, I guess we will never know. He burst out of that darkness that has been enveloping him for 3 to 4 years. Everything, blame KL Rahul. Soft target, KL Rahul. Anything that goes wrong with the Indian batting, blame KL Rahul.
That was also because he was at a very fragile point in Indian cricket. And
Not
that
really.
for that, yeah, Sidvi sir.
Don't you go by the axiom that you fail as a unit or you succeed as a unit? But in India, it doesn't happen because certain stars
That's
always
not
want to
true. If
hijack
that was the
thing.
scene, then nobody will ever get dropped from a team. You'll keep on playing the same team for years and
But
years.
dropping someone, losing and winning, like you only say, na, the coach and the captain both get the credit if they lose and if they win, right? Same team dynamics. But all that has been replaced because of the superstar culture that is prevalent at this point in India. So who's the soft target? KL Rahul is the soft target. You blame him. He was never forgiven for November 19, 2023. But the whole unit failed. Not just KL Rahul.
No.
Whole unit. 2024.
But that
you
is
won.
true, Sidvi sir. But you go after the low-hanging fruit, right? You'll go after the person who's
Why?
easiest.
In a team sport, that shouldn't be the case.
No. What I'm trying to say was that KL himself was in a very fragile spot in any format at that point, and that is why people went more after him. That was the only reason. But that is obviously a fault with the whole cultural system as well. That I am agreeing.
We Indians are masters at
But you should not be giving that opportunity to others as well, right? You know that this is how the system works. It's not right. This is how it works. It's sad, but this is how it works. If opportunities were given, that's why people were going after him. Now he's not giving those opportunities. Nobody can. He played those clutch knocks. The question was that he can't play in the clutch situations. He did that. So now nobody's talking about that.
What is this celebration that Delhi has put for KL Rahul? Mehfil bhi hamari or jeet bhi. What is the context? Like, or maybe they're playing in Lucknow, so this is a very
Maybe it's a
Lucknowi way.
nazakat, the Lucknowi tehzeeb that
Yeah,
they want to go
Mehfil
into.
bhi hamari, or maybe they would have said ki hamari Mehfil mein you have come or something. Previous post, because nowadays it happens, na, teams wait for something that you say and then they will come up with a counter after the win. They'll say we have done it. Okay. Acha, they have said ye bhi mera ground hai. Actually, you could
Actually,
say
yes.
2 seasons.
22, 23, 24, 3 seasons.
3,
na?
na?
Oh, 3 seasons, yeah.
22, 23, 24.
3 seasons he's been captain there. So he could have said, ye bhi mera ground hai. Like this. This is
It was
also
a
okay.
very unique and nice celebration.
That was okay. Let's address the elephant in the room. What is that?
Rishabh Pant and his...
We are not going to talk about the team that won.
That later.
Okay.
There are 2 major talking points.
No,
on
what
this.
later? We have spent half an hour talking about the team that is just
That
won.
was KL Rahul in specific.
So is he from
No.
space?
No. Others also.
Like
I think,
he came, he's
Aksar
he's not
Patel.
part of Delhi.
Then I have a couple
We'll
of
come to
more.
it, no?
Okay.
Okay, let Shashwat tell us.
No.
what
I was just saying I'm just very.
half an hour we have spent talking about the team that we were, and you don't extend the same courtesy on another day.
No.
Yesterday we were discussing KKR and Gujarat. First 45 minutes we discussed KKR. Why did you not sit and say that let's talk about Gujarat? So don't bring your personal agendas here. Be fair. Talk about things the way they have to be for each team. Let me finish. So each team has to be looked at differently. For your team, we have spent half an hour, which we do sometimes do not extend that courtesy to other teams. So now we are going to talk about,
The team.
and then we'll see if we want to talk about Delhi.
By the way, we are talking only about Delhi, na? He's also from Delhi.
Yeah. He also had a point to prove though.
We are talking about Delhi B, which is
Delhi Super Giants.
Delhi Super Giants.
Exactly. Rishabh Pant today had a complete meltdown.
I want everyone to come up with one reason that you can think of that Rishabh Pant batted at number 8,
7.
7.
Unfathomable. I can't think of any
No,
reason.
you have to think of. You just try and come up with a logic. But it could be any logic.
You
Each
think
of
I'll
us
start
have
then?
to come up with one logic.
I think he realizes that he's not at the peak of his powers, and for the betterment of the team, I think that is what was required at that point, and that is why he took that call. So he does not have confidence in his abilities as of now. That was the reason.
And is
Because-
that a correct reason for him to be doing that?
No, not today. The game
I mean,
against
I am-
KKR, I was
I
okay
am
with it.
sorry, you had a Delhi Capitals team where a bowling all-rounder in Akshar Patel stepped up to bat at number 4 and take his team across the line. And you are telling me that a regular top-order batter of the Indian team, who till some time back you thought would make a great opener, is now reached a stage where he is thinking that an Abdul Samad, a Ayush Badoni, and even a woefully out of form David Miller, who's been out of form for some time now, not only this season but seasons before that, are better suited than Rishabh Pant in a game where you've not even reached like the 18th over. Your second wicket fell in the 11th over. So if you cannot bat at the 11th over also, or the 12th or the 13th, and if the thought process is that I am not capable of doing it, then I'm afraid then that is almost making yourself a non-playing captain. Even someone who's 43 and not at the peak of his powers
He looked
does
a
not
little-
think that he cannot finish the game. Unless, whatever, I mean, we'll get into the different reasons that there are, but Shashwat feels that one of the reasons could be that he does not fancy himself in the form that he is, so he thought batters that are better than me should go out, and he did it. Okay.
Just before that, I
No,
think,
your chances. We'll come back.
do-
We'll come back to his turn.
There is no confidence.
Same reason as him.
Pant has no confidence.
Come up with a different reason. Na?
I mean, what
You
else?
believe in that reason. He didn't come out because there's no confidence.
Then what explains it then? Today the situation was tailor-made for him, or muddled thinking.
Or is it that he didn't take the call and the Lucknow Super Giants management took the call? Because we saw those visuals during that time as well. He was very angry. He was angry in the dugout as well. Was very restless, moving in and around. And we saw when he got out also, took off his helmet in a lot of anger and then walked to the dugout in anger.
I am
Could
no
that be the
fly on the wall. I'm no fly on the wall. I can't sum it up with that because, see, the visuals might present something, but it might be no foreground, no background in that sense. But either if it's lack of confidence, muddled thinking. Because if he's made the decision, if the management has made the decision, it's with consultation with him. He's the captain, right? Or the captain's been totally left out. That is one possibility. The muddled thinking that Rishabh Pant is having today, we all hailed him for his tactical prowess versus Rajasthan Royals. What could have changed suddenly in 2-3 days? Lack of confidence and muddled thinking. Look at the batting. It is top heavy. It is RCB light. Top 3, rest, nothing. What made him suggest that, okay, I will be the buffer and let all the others in Abdul Samad, David Miller and Ayush Badoni bat over me? You have totally destroyed the roles. Abdul Samad isn't a middle overs batter. He's a death overs batter. David Miller is also middle to death, but then he's not been in form. 11.3 with more than 50 balls to spare. Pant could have easily taken his time and accelerated. But he's definitely not thinking on those lines. Pant, because of the last string of low scores, has lost confidence. And that low confidence combined with the muddled thinking, and now it is now a proven fact. So much money, when every performance has now been scrutinized, every big buy in the IPL auction is struggling, and money power does have that weightage. If you don't perform, that's it. It is weighing him down as far as batting is concerned. 27 crores, what has been the return? 150. He's not even added into that. Today, 106 runs for 27 crores. Captaincy is great. That has totally muddled his thinking. His confidence is shot. And he's now miles and miles away from a potential Indian cap in the T20 setup. I'm sorry, he's regressed 10 steps back.
I mean, I would be surprised if Pant has taken this call. He can be out of form, but I don't think he's that sort of a player that he will push himself at that situation. Even if you look at this game tactically, once a Nicholas Pooran falls, you needed another lefty to go in, and I thought that was the time for a Pant to be going out. And yet, you sent an Abdul Samad, who I agree with you is a death over specialist. So that I think was ideal situation at 11.2. See, if you look at where Lucknow has lost this game, it is exactly in that situation. They've had one of their best opening stands, 87 for no loss in 9 point some overs. From there, you just collapse to 159. So, getting another 60, 70 runs is all that you managed. For majority of the overs being left and you having 10 wickets in hand. So I think that situation was perfect for a Rishabh Pant to be in walking. And why I'm saying that, I don't think it is Rishabh who himself would have done it, because he's on occasions pushed himself to open as well. He's opened in this thing. So he's ready to take that chance that, okay, when there is a player that is not available and if I have to step up and open the innings, then I will do that. And he's done it. That same Rishabh Pant, also I know and heard of stories of Rishabh Pant, the kind of a player that he is. He does have a lot of faith in himself. He does have a lot of belief in his own skills, and he backs himself. He's his own man. Sometimes captaincy decisions are told to him. It happened in Delhi as well. It may be happening in Lucknow, but he takes his own calls. That is why I'm a bit surprised that this call, I feel, was thrust upon him from the team management, and they probably suggested that he bat lower, and clearly those visuals are suggestive of the fact that he was not happy with it. But then the other bit tells me that Rishabh is not that sort of a person. He does not really listen into what the management may be saying. He's his own man, and he's the captain. He likes to take charge. But whatever be the situation, I think he was pushed to that number. And if it is, maybe we'll hear about it in the...
He's already talked about it. He already has. He was asked specifically about why did he bat down Jordan. I'll just read it out because it really does not make too much sense to me. He said, idea was to capitalize. We sent Samad to capitalize on a wicket like that. After that, Miller came in and we just really got stuck in the wicket. Eventually, these are the things we got to figure out and try to find our best combination going forward.
So then that is suggestive that he was party to that decision.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, and then why was he that animated? Maybe the discussion that would have gone after was it should they be calling a David Miller back or not? Maybe that is what could have happened, because call clearly I thought was his only, because he's done this on previous occasion as well against KKR. So maybe once they realized that David Miller is really wasting the time, as in wasting the time, he's soaking up balls. You are
telling me that Rishabh Pant actually believes that David Miller and Abdul Samad and Ayush Badoni can be more explosive than him. I mean, yes, Abdul Samad did play a very good innings last time around, but I mean, you have to look at the pedigree as well. The only other possible reason is that we know that he is such a big fan of MS Dhoni. He idolizes and does everything that MS Dhoni does. Then he thought that, MS does bat at number 8 and 9.
But
so
if he asks MS
I will
also about this,
do what
MS
my
will
idol
also
does.
say it's not right to do this.
Yeah, but MS is doing it because,
exactly.
his knee is not functioning very well and he's struggling at that. That's not an issue with Rishabh Pant. Na?
Even now, where is MS Dhoni contributing? Barring one match, where has he contributed in that number? And has it done it in a very impactful way? No.
But in his case, we can still understand
Yeah.
why he's doing. But because he is limping, no? There are certain games we saw him limping. So clearly his knee is not up to the mark. That's not the problem with Rishabh.
But what does I see? Either he's letting the outside noise, the pressure or whatever is there, get to him. And we have often seen when the outside noise...
What outside noise? It's not that their team is languishing at the bottom. The team has done well. Yes, runs haven't come from his bat. Then if
That is the outside noise.
No, but Siddharth, if haven't come from my bat, I want to be part of the Indian T20 setup. This is the same Rishabh Pant who few years ago, when he was dropped from white ball cricket, he offered to play every series where India was going. Everyone was taking some rotation, resting. He continued to play because he was so hungry for an India spot, right? And I'm guessing that he's a competitive person, as top cricketers are. And he would want to be a regular in the Indian T20 setup as well, right? If that is the case, you're saying that he's falling down in that pecking order, then the only way you can go up is by playing a couple of good knocks and, the conversation changes. And I'm sure nobody knows it better than Rishabh Pant himself. So if that is his drive and he wants to be there, and that's how he's that sort of a player. Plus, forget all that India ambitions as well. He is a competitive captain who would want to win as well. He is the one who likes to take charge, and sometimes it doesn't pay off, but he will do it, right? So the only logical thing that I can think of is he pushes him, whether it is for his personal ambition in the Indian team, whether it was for the current Lucknow team or how they do well, that made sense that he bats there. I just can't imagine what could be the logic that are we kind of misinterpreting the fact that maybe that was not a hunger, maybe it was fear that was motivating him to play everything? Fear. So then that fear is to be, if you're missing out on the T20 squad, then how do you go past that fear? His earlier reaction to that fear was, the more I play, the more runs I can get, and I can show people that, listen, I belong here. That is the instinct that he had. If it is fear, then if it is the fear here now, because as you said, and I'm sure he's more aware of it than us, that the competition for that wicketkeeper slot is getting closer and closer. One he was playing against today, who's once again got a 50. So then what are you supposed to do? Your only logical thing is you become more aggressive and at least get yourself a chance to play. Well, that's not what he did.
Maybe it is this desperation that is costing him. You remember even
in desperation you play, no. But if I'm desperate to do something, I sit out.
Which is actually dragging him down. Because with the bat he is not contributing. And the outside noise is centered around Rishabh Pant, the batter, not the captain. His team is not in a dire situation. It is threatening to be in a dire situation. His contributions primarily, because if MS Dhoni was 10-15 years younger, we won't play him just as a keeper, right? He'll play him as a keeper bat. His primary KRA is batting and a keeper.
KRA.
But Pant, younger, the race is so hostile, the race. Because one slip up, you fall way behind.
So is this a slip up or is a great thing?
This is a massive slip
So
up.
simple. If he had played and he got out for 5, also would have been a slip up, right? We would have said, oh, poor form continues. But there was a flip side to it. He could have got a 50 or a 60. We would have been discussing. Today, by not going, there is only one option left, which is of criticism. If he went early, he opened up 2 options. One could be a nice discussion for the next few days that, wow, is he back into form? The other would have been the same continuation. Oh, runs have dried from his bat. He continues to disappoint. By not playing, you've ensured there is that one option is out.
Because
that animated discussion that we were seeing, I think that would have been related to calling a David Miller back or not, and maybe coach and captain would
Even
not.
that is that, but even that, Shashwat, to call him back is another thing. How many
Yeah.
balls? He would have gotten 5 more
I
deliveries.
still feel that, like you
you
also
should have gone
mentioned,
and faced 20 deliveries
I think
today.
he's taking the calls, and it was his call only to send Abdul Samad and David Miller ahead of himself.
No, there is an interesting backdrop also. You remember in the last 2 editions of the IPL, we have seen the wicketkeeper slot really heat up, right? We don't know who is going to be where and how in that. Pant was right in the mix. He somehow made it to the T20 World Cup. Now, he realizes that his other competitors are also not setting the stage on fire. A Dhruv Jurel isn't setting a stage on fire. A Sanju Samson is getting injured, plus he's inconsistent also now.
KL Rahul is leading it though.
KL Rahul is leading it, but now the field has shrunk. The field has shrunk for Rishabh Pant. He says, "Yaar, now this is my golden opportunity to capitalize." But that
By doing what? By batting at number 8.
But you look at in any
Right.
other position, he's not
but
batted well.
Where was he batting for the Indian team in the T20 World Cup?
Number
Anywhere.
3.
Number 3.
Yeah, he's batting number 3.
Now, if you're telling me he can't bat at number 3 for his franchise, nor can he open, when many believe that is the right thing for him to do,
He opened in one match.
in one
game.
match, but you're not doing that consistently, is my point. So you're not having a
Right now
designated.
he can't do that with a Mitch Marsh and Markram, the way they are batting.
With the
how
way
does
they
he
bat- but
displace
when
that?
they were when remember there wasn't any Marsh for a couple of matches, and you looked at somebody who could perform that role for you, he did that only once out of those 2 matches.
And I think Himmat Singh didn't even get to bat.
So when you're looking at him and see, a batter who's out of form will come to form when you get more deliveries in the middle. That's what you say for every batter. Spend more time in the middle, no matter what format you're playing. With Rishabh Pant, the captain, he doesn't have to go around convincing 10 people that,
Correct.
let me bat.
Correct.
Let me bat, ahead of most batters. Let me go 2 down, 3 down. He's the man in charge. He can take a unilateral call. That's how empowered captains are. But what Rishabh Pant's been doing is actually empowering others. But in doing so, he's taking away those powers from himself as well, and his own credibility is getting affected as a result. And it's damaging. What Rishabh Pant did today is very damaging to his own confidence. What people will make of it is very simple, but it's very damaging to his own credentials. This is not signs of a good leader. I'm sorry to say that.
Look,
And the difference is made very stark today because, as I said earlier, on the same day you have the opposition captain who's a bowling all-rounder, not even an out-and-out batter, who comes in at number 4, takes the initiative and wins the game for his team with the bat. And this is a Rishabh Pant at that 11th over. It was the perfect chance. Nicholas Pooran falls, the left-hander has fallen. He steps up, and instead of 159, they are sitting on 189. And game is on. Game is on. But no.
that's what. But
One
today
thing
Pant
that-
switched off.
But after what he said in the post-match presentation, I think one thing that is very clear now that he does not have confidence on himself as a clean hitter, because he's very clearly saying that we wanted to capitalize in the middle. I think what thought process would have been over there, what I can make out of the statement is that maybe because when Markram and Marsh were batting, I think they were lagging a little bit behind. They were not scoring runs, as many
So
runs
what
that they
did
would
that
have.
tell you? What did that tell you?
That they
When-
wanted to shift momentum in between, and they wanted to set. Yeah,
But
that
you have to
Rishabh Pant.
respect the conditions. Boss.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This pitch, 190 is the sort of total that you need to get here, right? So I think Markram and Marsh, who are really good stroke makers, they also assessed, no, Gujarat Titans on that day when they were batting yesterday also realized that they were in good form, that this pitch I don't have to get
Then
220.
why wasn't this message passed in the dressing room?
But you should, if you are sitting and we are sitting and we can realize on the TV, 2 batters, 2 experienced batters like him. Mitch Marsh is not a sort of a player who is going to be caring about how many runs I get. He will continue to attack. But if the conditions are tougher, then he will change the game as you expect an experienced batter to do. So if that pitch is, in fact, it was down, like you mentioned, it was absolutely KL Rahul's kind of chase today. Then it was absolutely a Rishabh Pant sort of a situation today to come out to bat there, because you are not going to 10 and over or 12 and over. You are
But
looking
maybe
at,
that also means that you were reading the wicket pretty low wrong, because you thought that maybe a par total over here is anything in excess of 200. You wanted to go after that. You realized that at the 11 over mark we are slightly behind. You wanted to shift the momentum. You send in 2 power hitters in that sense, who failed, and then Rishabh Pant. That's why I
just
told
before you, the
someone
wicket to
and-
fall is Nicholas Pooran, who gets an underedge on a slower ball. If you needed any more proof than that, apart from your two openers, the ball's really not, coming onto the bat.
But then
But
everything
if the
was on
notion in
par.
that camp is, and if Rishabh Pant believes that Samad and Badoni are bigger power hitters than him, then there's something seriously wrong.
Exactly what I said. See, he may be out of form, Rishabh Pant. I
No,
completely
but that
agree.
notion cannot exist.
That's what my point is. That he may be completely out of form, but even in anyone who watches cricket, you will still put a Rishabh Pant as a power hitter ahead of Badoni and Samad. 100%, any given day.
By the same logic, Rohit Sharma should be coming 8 or 9 in his batting lineup.
Yeah,
It should be
but they
Naman
did.
Hero should be opening.
Correct.
That's
Rohit
the same
Sharma
logic.
was out of form.
They
He
stuck,
realized that
yeah.
batting at number 4 also in test match cricket wasn't working out. So the batter who got you some runs and was giving you some home right up top, what do you do as captain? No, you go back to playing in the middle order. I'm going to go open.
Not even going to the test series.
So
Just
I'm
Mumbai
saying this is
Indians.
the
I'm
power
saying,
that captains have.
They're
This is what
sticking-
Rishabh Pant should be doing. He's going ahead and sending other batters, not like they're setting the stage on fire and have shown enough prowess to hit every second ball for a
It
six.
wasn't even required, specifically today.
If we are looking at that same hopped up theory of intent, then there is no common sense. If you wanted intent, okay, you have to play smart. Intent relies on smart cricket. And what Rishabh Pant and Lucknow Super Giants did tactically, they undid themselves totally. You messed up the roles that a Samad and a Miller and a Badoni had, and you were going to be the buffer when you're not even batted there in that position for 8 years. 8-9 years you haven't batted in number
2016 was the last time.
Yeah. What was Pant thinking? I just don't know. What has changed in 3 days when he had a tactical masterstroke against Rajasthan Royals? Today, it seemed as if a novice was captaining. His batting decisions, his bowling decisions, his fielding decisions, nothing worked today.
Bowling, I'll still appreciate the fact
Yeah,
you brought
today
on a
was-
Rathi and you
yeah.
had to go for it.
Which he
I
did in
like
his
that
previous
actually.
Yes,
game
exactly.
also.
Because, you had half a chance. You got to take that.
No, his captaincy while fielding was fine. It's just that you didn't have enough runs and he's to be blamed for one of those reasons. Okay, moving beyond from Rishabh Pant, because we'll keep discussing till the cows come home. What does this result then mean to the points table? What does it mean to Lucknow? We'll get to, of course, what it means for Delhi Capitals a little later, but at the moment, looking at the points table, what does this mean for a Lucknow Super Giants? Do they have any chance? At least the one thing that I do see from this points table at the moment is that one team is going to be very happy with this result, and that is Mumbai Indians, because what this does is allows them to be on par with another team. See, slowly and steadily from 8th to 7th to 6th they've reached, and they can even reach 5th now.
They can get to 3rd.
Exactly my point. So, no, but I'm saying those teams have a game less. So to be on an even keel, they now can be with the same number of games. If they win their next encounter, they can sit with LSG. At one point, LSG was in the top 4 and Mumbai Indians were in the bottom 4. So now you can be in a stage where there'll be dead heat between the two. So what you've done is slowly and steadily reach the number 5th spot. All you then need to do is wait for one slip up in the top 4 and utilize, because right now that you needed one slip up or 2 slip-ups in the top 5, one team has done it for you.
Actually 2, even because RCB and PBKS, even PBKS now are on a very slippery slope. Because they won, PBKS are also now on a very slippery slope.
No, but they are the same as RCB, no? 8 games, 10 points. 8 games, 10 points. So they are still one notch above. See, even if Mumbai were to win the next game, they can't match PBKS and RCB. They're a step ahead.
Yeah.
The only team that they are going to match now, and as I said, you are trying to be on the same level as some teams. Slowly you went from a 7 to from an 8 to a 7 to a 6, and now you could very well be number 5. So it's a good result for Mumbai Indians, not so much for Lucknow Super Giants.
Gives a faint hope to KKR.
Minor,
Very
because of what happened today.
Yeah, but
Because what they are hoping is that if one of the top 4 team slips down, then we come up. And of course they'll also will have to hope for MI and LSG to have a few losses, which I think they will. I think it'll get muddled between 5, 6, 7. I just somehow have a feeling that the team that are sitting on 5, 6, 7 in an LSG, MI, KKR, I don't know whether they make it to the top 4, but If they don't, let's say the top 4 don't relent and continue their good form, and the top 4 is what is the top 4 now. So the fight for the 5th spot will also be very interesting.
I think it's going to be between RCB, PBKS, LSG and MI and KKR. So from 3rd to 7th, fight for 2 spots from here, I feel.
You think GTDC done?
Yeah. Now you can safely say it's done.
From where the
Now-
two teams are, they look pretty impregnable.
Now if you don't say they're done, then when will?
All
So
the-
you're saying RCB, Punjab, Lucknow, MI, KKR.
Yeah, KKR I'm not counting just because.
Okay. No, you have
no,
to pick here.
not
So
even
you
for
think
me.
MI, LSG, PBKS, RCB,
Yeah.
4 teams will fight for the remaining 2.
Remaining 2 slots, and that's going to be very, very interesting.
Somehow I don't know why this campaign of GT is giving me vibes of 2012 or 2020.
And it looks like,
You were in a
2012.
similar situation. 6 games you had won.
who?
Delhi Capitals.
You said GT.
Sorry, Delhi
DC,
Capitals.
yeah.
Delhi Capitals is giving me vibes of 2012 and 2020 all over again.
You're saying
25.
they'll slip now.
No, 2020 the final we played.
But look how you managed to get through to the final.
You were table toppers also.
You were table toppers.
No, you had to go through the eliminator qualifier.
No.
Yes.
We lost the first qualifier and won the second qualifier.
Yeah.
We played the qualifiers.
You played
but never
okay.
the eliminator.
But then you had to somehow scrape through. Somehow you were
we
losing
had
4-5
chances
games.
na.
4-5 games you had lost on the trot. When you were comfortably finishing 1, you lost.
No, you're talking
That
about 2021, not 2020. 2021 this happened.
We can always cross.
Even 2020 also.
2020 was
You lost to Mumbai Indians.
Yes,
You
lost
lost
four
in
times.
qualifier
You
1.
lost all 4 matches, if
Yeah.
I remember correctly, to
Yeah.
the Mumbai Indians. In
You
that
lost in
campaign.
qualifier 2 itself. In the
Qualifier
semi-final.
1. Qualifier 1.
Qualifier 2 in 2021 you lost.
Yeah.
In 2021
KKR.
you lost. Yeah, you
Sharjah.
lost to KKR there.
Doesn't matter which year they did what. What do you see for them this year?
I think again a top 2 for them.
But you're saying they'll have some.
The slump is coming.
Arey, he's
Where is
been
the
scared of
slump
that
now?
slump for so long. Today, this game, these 2 Delhi fans,
Yeah.
the scaredy cats, they were like almost given up hope even before the match started. This
See-
is what happens if you are a Delhi Capital fan for so many years. You have no faith in your team. Like Shashwat Bhalla and Harshit Ahuja had. Harshit even worse so because he's a Manchester United fan as well. So he just cannot accept that his team can do so well. He's been so used to, accustomed to, or sensitized to
Because I'll tell you
average
what,
performances
from
that
the
he thought
high-
his team will lose and lose and lose and they'll be in trouble.
Because I'll tell you where it comes
Left
from.
today the ritual I forgot today.
I'll tell you where it
because
comes
he
from.
had come here and said,
What
my
did Manchester
gut is
United
saying.
do? What did Manchester United do midweek? Play possibly the match of the last couple of years. So you score 3 goals. And what happens on the weekend then? A match you should have won at home, you lost against Wolves. So with Delhi as
So
well.
don't confuse Delhi with Manchester United.
No, but
that
the
is your
thing
problem.
The problem is, I'll tell you where the problem comes from. It arises from there being no rich legacy, there being no clinical campaigns. That's where it comes from. That's where the fear comes from. Because why a CSK or an MI where they are right now, MI more so, CSK not right now. But why is everyone talking about MI? Because they're a legacy team for what they've done. Not for 5 titles, but the manner in which those 5 titles they've won. They're perhaps the only side you tell them next season as well, and the season after that you lose the first match or the first couple of matches. They'll be like, yeah, that happened in the campaign in our title winning campaign in 2013, in 15, in 17 as well. We're fine with that. So those are
Ever since Jasprit Bumrah stepped in, they have never won the first game of the IPL. When they have played for the first time.
It comes. So for it to for the narrative and the mood to change, you need a title at times. That's how it's done.
Okay.
Yeah, you need a title.
I think-
I totally agree.
Yeah, but you didn't he based it on the history. That's why he's not confident about his team.
Same,
You based it on your gut.
No.
My gut is telling me.
But my gut is telling me because there is no legacy, na.
Gut also takes history into account.
No, it does not take history, but it's hard to believe that this is truly happening. If you would have asked me at the beginning of the season, they weren't even there in my top 4 to begin with. That's how.
I remember
the
placing them
perception.
5th the day that we were doing predictions. I remember placing them 5th.
See, these 6 teams
Really
are
punched
going
above their weight.
to fight for 4 spots. These 6 teams.
6? Oh, for you,
You are
KKR.
including KKR in that.
No,
And
6
I will
top
maintain.
6. I'm not including
I'll
KKR.
maintain one thing.
You're not. Okay.
I hope it's Delhi, but if not Delhi, I do want there to be a first time winner.
Punjab.
See, I will make a call now. I am saying GTDC qualified. I don't think there's going to be any slip up. They are definitely qualified. And I agree now there will be a fight for the remaining spot between RCB, Punjab, Lucknow, MI. KKR also, okay, maybe you can put it if it's a fight, but looking at it's not that the team is bad, it's their decision making, their planning and what they are doing. They're shooting themselves in the foot. And unless that can be rectified, I'd see no hope for KKR.
It'll take a disaster from here for GT and DC to not qualify. An absolute disaster.
GT, DC have said done.
Because
signed, seen, deliver.
2 matches you need to win and you're left with 6.
They are done.
Yeah.
The fight is now
It's
RCB, Punjab.
Now the fight is for top 2.
Yeah, now for DC and GT, this is about ensuring that you finish top 2.
Yeah.
And
Not slip any further.
And play against each other in the qualifier one.
Lucknow, does anyone think they can still make it?
Yes, I think so. You haven't seen Mayank been unleashed yet. Once you
How will he be unleashed when you are going to bring in your impact sub ahead of your captain?
Because not to
But you
forget,
could have used that impact sub today. If Rishabh Pant would have come, you wouldn't have used Badoni. You would have got an extra bowler. Not to say that you would have won, but who knows? If a Mayank had a performance like Mukesh had today, 4 wickets, you never know, yaar.
I just feel that bowling unit has come really good, especially the Indians present in that bowling unit. And Rishabh Pant, the captain, whatever he's done has anyway been something that is beyond expectation. Now you add Mayank to the mix as well. I feel there's something more that LSG can offer over here.
Delhi didn't even need an impact sub today.
Exactly. That's how it's done. That's where LSG faltered. Bought in that. I like the idea of not having a batter in the batting so that you can have 6 bowlers later if you're not going to use the batter. That's fine. But that batter comes ahead of your captain. And by the way, that sub was also a wrong choice. I would have still kept a Badoni ahead of a Miller, even if I was going with just 6 batters. Even that decision was baffling. I think LSG will only have a chance if Nicholas Pooran has a good run from here on. You can see it. Mitch Marsh is also fired on certain days. Markram is also fired. Yet they have been on the losing side. It is only that one man, Nicky P, because he does it at such a strike rate. If he's had a poor run now, last 2-3 games, if I'm not mistaken, hasn't gotten runs. And you see that the teams had under par performances. So they have now 5 games remaining. They will need 4 knocks by Nicky P.
Specials.
4 Nicky P specials, then they are in it. If they can't,
The broadcasters showed something interesting about Nicky P. Against the Mumbai Indians and now today's dismissal of him against Stark. You bowl him a little short, not on his body, a little away from his body. He's giving his wicket away, and that's what happened in both those instances.
No, there's no. 2 dismissals are over pitch deliveries. He got bowled. Stark got him
only it was.
and there was one more.
But
one more.
It wasn't low full toss. First dismissal you're saying.
No,
right?
not low full toss. It was an over pitch.
It was a bit over pitch and
one leg before also somebody got him. There are 2,
he
3.
rolled his fingers over. Stark had rolled his
There
fingers
are
over.
2-3 dismissal that I've seen that he's got, and sometimes wide balls also I've seen him hit 6s. The thing with him is he is an all-round player. That's why he's so good. But he's had a bad run, as most batters have. Whatever be the reason, whether it's short balls or over pitch balls, I don't know. Because
and Stark rolling his fingers over.
But Stark has got him out both
times, so he's also done the double.
Stark, Aksar, all of them have started to step up now finally. Now we are nearing the peak.
Aksar, the bowler.
Mukesh.
Reverse swinging today,
you
boss.
wanted to drop Mukesh.
You wanted to. Where is Nattu? Where is Natarajan? Why is Mukesh playing? Where is this?
But the thing with Mukesh is, he shows you these glimpses, but perhaps in the whole campaign there'll be that one clinical game from him. Today also, he looks like an absolute dream at times, but then he concedes all those boundaries that he did in the last over. Poor, when you have a field on the leg side, why are you bowling on the off side? So it's that little inconsistency with him that perhaps makes me as a Delhi fan feel that, this
Chamira is also a good addition.
Okay.
No, that Faf will come back. No, you
But
can still
I
play
think
Chamira. Chamira, Stubbs,
He's bowling well.
Faf,
Stark.
4.
Yorkers I like.
I was more excited about Nattu. It's disappointing that Nattu's not been around.
Fine now.
Today, though, you didn't even need your best batter. 2 best batters, Stubbs and Ashutosh.
Faf is injured in 4 games.
No, but Karun's done a decent job. Since
But
he's
once
come in.
Faf comes in, you just swap him with Karun, I guess.
Yeah, that you'll be doing that only. See, you played only with 3 foreigners.
I'm just-
Then
no,
Karun
there's
goes
just
to
one-
3, KL goes to 4.
Just one
But
box
what
needs to be tactic
Karmic justice
right
in
now.
a way today, huh? KL Rahul
We've
getting this. Yeah, I'm sure you guys would have touched upon that.
No, but what I was just saying that now I forgot that. Leave it.
Okay, can we have questions, please, Shivam?
Me, LSG doesn't make it to the playoffs.
Yeah,
even
just one box.
I
needs-
said Nicky P. If he's having a good time, he takes
LSG
you.
are having a good time.
Yeah,
one box needs to be ticked, and that is scoring
Priyansh's is Mukesh Mukra.
250 to 220 sort of runs.
They're like Mukesh Stark.
Don't be so skeptical, yeah. Team's
So
doing
Mukesh
fine.
doesn't-
They will get to
I mean, Magra never had
Stubbs and Ashutosh will
Yeah.
step up, na?
P also.
Huh?
P is
Then
jersey name.
Vipraj. You have, yeah. Relax. Don't be under.
You need
stress
not
and
worry
pressure.
when Ratlam ka share is with you.
Islam ka share is also there.
Okay, Madhav says in IPL, even after scoring 1200 runs less than Virat Kohli, still Rohit has more man of the match than Virat or any other Indian. Now tell who is more impactful as a batter. Madhav, can I remind you? I think he has picked up a few man of the match for his bowling, if I'm not mistaken.
2009 hat-trick.
Just so that you know.
Yeah, but then
Just so that you know. Also, you got to look at phases. I think, Rohit was part of the 2007 T20 World Cup. He was already an India player. And I remember when he was playing for Deccan Chargers, he was batting in the lower middle order. And he was being spoken about, and he had a lot of impactful knocks even then. And at that moment, Virat Kohli was a nobody. Like even his state team, Delhi, did not want him. And that story everyone knows. They went for a Sangwan rather than Kohli, and nobody blames. I think Kohli really turned it around 2012-13. That's when you really saw the real Virat Kohli. So I think from there on, he's been the better batter. I mean, without doubt. And by which time, I think Rohit would have already won, 7-8 man of the matches, I guess. He would have had that sort of a head start when Virat would have had 0. So he's actually covered up that distance.
Yep. Pawan Holla, today we saw 2 tactical decisions. One was blunder from Pant, not taking responsibility to come up the order when wickets were falling. Aksar, on the other hand, took responsibility to come up the order to finish the game for TC.
Exactly what I meant.
Aksar has been batting at number 4 only also.
See, how fickle the IPL is. We criticized Aksar for the knock against GT because he played too slowly there. But somewhere down the line, I think Aksar, the bowler, remains a slight worry.
Yeah. I agree, but see, he had that knock for which he got the blame, Aksar. Did he then say, next this game, no, now I can't, I've lost faith, my hands are shivering. No. He said, go, I'm going to go. I will go perform.
Whose hands never...
Yeah, but that's what you want, no, the leader to say, okay, I'm going to step up. And he stepped up.
Umang Badani has also promised him that next time we are coming back to your city, we are winning. Next time we'll be in playoffs only.
Ahmedabad.
They said sorry to him. The
Our-
whole
But
team.
he's not from Ahmedabad.
No, but the whole team said sorry to him that we came to your ground and we were unable to win it. But we owe you.
But that's not his ground.
No, it's for his home ground is that only. No,
No, he's from Rajkot, no, isn't he?
No, he's
from Ahmedabad only.
Rajkot is
Yeah,
Jaddu.
Jaddu I know, but isn't Aksar also?
No.
No, Aksar
Ahmedabad.
is
Okay, I'm sorry.
Ahmedabadi.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought he was from also Rajkot.
No.
Oh, Pujara, Jadeja.
Pujara, yes, Jadeja.
Baroda is Hardik.
Hardik.
Yeah.
Pathan brothers are also from Baroda.
Yes.
Gujarat, Bumrah is
Ahmedabad.
Ahmedabad.
Aksar.
Aksar also.
Ahmedabad.
Aksar Rajesh Bhai Patel, yes.
Then I stand corrected. I felt he was also Rajkot.
So, Rakesh Bhushan. KL in test, 58 match average of 33.57, debuted in 2014. Still today, he's not a certainty in the playing level in tests. Nikhil, your opinion on this test performance? Has he wasted his talent? Is he lucky?
No, yeah, I'd say he's lucky. He's lucky to have gotten a chance. And I'm saying that he's lucky also because nobody has really stepped up to claim that position. See, it's not that he was born with a golden spoon. He was dropped as well multiple times. And the only reason he came back because the people who kind of replaced him also failed. And that allowed him to come back. And on occasions he got runs. I think he has all the talent to be successful, as is evident with his hundreds that he's got in tough conditions. I mean, Centurion is one of the toughest places. He's got 2 there. So, I mean, so he has that. The only thing that's really lacked from him is he's had a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde sort of a performance in Test match cricket. Sometimes he's a match winner, looks like even in tough conditions, overseas conditions, looks like a different level player only compared to everyone else. And then sometimes in very average conditions, he just doesn't make it count. And that's why I praise Virat sometimes, because people say, oh, okay, he's been out of form, but when you look at some of his big knocks, you'll say, oh, those are batting friendly conditions. But I think even that is an art. He at least utilizes that. No, if the batting friendly conditions, he ensures, okay, today I'm not going to be giving away my wicket. Today is a good day. It seems like a good day to get runs. Conditions are in my favor. I'll maximize it. And that's a sign of a good batter. And on those days, sometimes KL disappoints, where you're like, come on, this should have been a day. Tough conditions you get, okay, but some of those days utilize it, get those runs. You'll always be, people when they'll talk about your average, they would say that he's a 50 average guy instead of saying 35 average.
And he does not use his, when he's in form, he does not capitalize and maximize that things. When you're in form, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli will not stop scoring runs. They'll make sure that when they are in form, at least if they're in form in 10 matches, they'll try and convert those 50s into 100s on at least 5 occasions. But with KL Rahul, you'll just see that once or twice, that when he's in form,
plus
he'll go out.
injuries have also happened at the worst possible time.
Injuries have happened to everybody.
No. When he was in top form, he had an injury and it kept him out for a long time. Then he struggled to regain the rhythm.
Again, it's very hard for me to believe that so many things are against somebody.
Yeah.
That is a little tough.
Yes.
He's from Anand.
Yes.
He's from where Amul is.
Amul is.
Not
Anand
from
Milk Union
Ahmedabad.
Limited.
But yeah, that still comes under...
Yeah.
I remember this because when I was very young, there used to be stories that he hits sixes outside the Motera ground. It was known as Motera.
But he's from Anand.
Motera wasn't that big also at that time. After the refurbishment, it's become huge.
But the boundary.
Then I used to think he's a bowler, but then somebody told me that he hit sixes outside the ground.
No, he would have been a batter, of
16,
course.
17, yeah.
AJ, this IPL, all teams...
Thank you, AJ, once again for the mithai.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it.
Congratulations.
Again.
This IPL, all teams look balanced and was supposed to be one of the best seasons in terms of competition. But till now, it hasn't turned out to be the best. We have had very few thrillers.
IPL isn't IPLing.
It did IPL.
For
Yeah,
one week,
it did.
Just one weekend,
did,
which been more than half of the tournament has already happened.
But all matches can't be thrillers now. Yeah?
No, I'm saying
Hey, what does he want? Your team is rocking it.
Yeah,
Want
that is
everything in life.
Yeah. Pawan Raju, a win tomorrow and MI move to third position? No, they'll be in fifth because they played a game more.
Yes.
no, if the net run rate is better, the games won't matter. If net run rate is better,
Yeah.
they'll...
No. Even if they move, it doesn't. You have to look at it.
It's a temporary
Yeah,
situation.
but on the points table, temporarily.
Yeah. But come on, you got to be a bit mindful of that. Now, teams have played one game less.
Unless RCB lose to RR on
If
24th.
suddenly you see them on the points table,
that's true.
third
They
on
do.
the points table tomorrow.
They will, yeah.
They will.
Yeah.
Because their net run rate is the best even amongst PBKS and
So just imagine
RCB
if
when
you
look
see
at
the Mumbai Indians at number 3 tomorrow suddenly.
No, but then that's what we're trying to warn everyone against, is that can be misleading.
because they played a game
more.
extra.
Yeah. That's why. Rakesh Bhushan, Aksar reminds me of Irfan Pathan. Both improved their batting and barter their bowling standards. In quest for adding skill sets, both let go of their primary skills. Hope he doesn't fade out like Irfan. I mean, yeah, Irfan, but I think Irfan in the quest for more pace.
No, I know. It's a good point actually what Rakesh is making. But yeah, the difference was that his pace really dropped, and I had my own assessment of that and reasoning for that, why I think that happened. But you're right, maybe he was made to believe that he can be an all-rounder, and it did impact his primary skill, which is a bowler. But I don't think that's the case with Aksar. I'll tell you why. Because I think Aksar, and I'm being very honest, even from those initial days, even when he made his test debut and he was getting all that success, I was a bit skeptical about his performance, because you could realize, and especially when you see test cricket, that he wasn't your quintessential left arm orthodox spinner, and you knew that he could get wickets on conditions, and you were offering pitches like that where his kind of bowling really does the trick, because it goes in quicker, it goes in a bit straight, and he was landing it on the lacquer when you were playing the pink ball test match, and all of that was really helping him. But he didn't have the guile or the skills to get batters out. your typical left arm spinners do. And at that time also, I did not think that he'll ever be a bowler who will pick up a lot of wickets. He could be a containing bowler in white ball cricket. He could have done that role, but I never felt that he'd be an out and out bowler who will win you test matches. You can always utilize him as an all-rounder who can be a sixth bowling option in white ball cricket. In test match cricket, I would still want to go with a out and out spinner. You need
Sai.
Yeah, Sai Kishore. Like, see, Jaddu is underrated. He actually has that skill. Like on given occasions, overseas, Jadeja. If you see overseas conditions when he was up against Ravichandran Ashwin, who has all the guile. I mean, Jadeja has proven that he could pick more wickets. So sometimes because he bowls a bit quicker, people do see it like that. But he can really turn the ball, and I guess it's the experience also. He spent so much time playing at that level. He could. But now, I mean, going forward, he could be like a Washington Sundar / Akshar Patel sort of a situation where he's the third spinner. Who's giving you batting, so you're not really sacrificing on spin-friendly conditions at home, or the second spinner in overseas conditions where you're trying to make your batting lineup also a bit lengthy.
No, I think he can be a to begin with. Jadeja also was very similar to Akshar Patel, even still is, but now he's able to pick those wickets with
Reverse.
experience.
Akshar was similar to Jaddu, not the other way around.
Yeah, so
Yeah, but even there, Jadeja when he came in, he could. Like Jadeja can turn the ball and get the ball to grip on occasions. You see,
but I think he'll be a absolute what role Jadeja is playing over here.
Not as a bowler, my
Never,
friend.
never.
There's a big difference between the left arm spinner. Yes, batting, maybe he is even better.
I'm just saying role. I think it would be absolutely swap.
No, role, yes, but I'm saying you're going to be compromising on your bowling.
Yeah,
I don't
that is
think
true.
Jadeja
That you
could
anyways
win
are.
you test matches with the ball. But I don't think Akshar will be able to do that. Jadeja has won you test matches with the ball. Don't think Akshar would be able to do that. That's just how I see him as a bowler. But yeah, Akshar may help you win a test match or two with a bat.
He's already done it once.
In BGT 2023.
in Delhi itself.
Yeah, even I think Nagpur, that partnership we had with
Saved that test match with Ashwin.
Yeah. Ashish there. KKR losing Salt and RR losing Joss. Biggest blunders. That will a separate auction.
Ashish, you're right. There are more to that list. We will add all of them and we'll do a auction blunder dugout as well for you. We'll take a few more comments before we wind up. We've got Syed Nizamuddin who says time is up for David Miller from the IPL. He has done it. He's done and dusted. I completely agree. That's why I was baffled today that your impact sub was Ayush Badoni. I understand that you want to play a batter less for playing an extra bowler. I like that strategy. But at least go with your top batters. No, the 6 batters have to be the best. Then Badoni should have been there. And then you keep up Miller for the time if you have a collapse, he comes in. Not the other way around. I was a bit baffled because Badoni's done far better than Miller has. And Miller, as I said, he's had a lot of average IPL season. One season, the last few I can think with GT, when they won the title, he was outstanding. I agree. But overall, is left a lot to be desired. A lot of players I can think of who had done and dusted. Okay, Sarat Chandra is saying, Sid sir, don't be a lawyer for trolled cricketers. They are trolled for their past performances. KL was poor in IPL and T20 World Cup. He played outdated cricket. Now all are cheering, so time is crucial to judge anyone.
As I said, Sarat Chandra, no one will look at the holistic picture because what we have said, 600 runs, but what was the thing? Strike rate. So you conveniently latch on to that, okay? I only wish, I know it, I'm asking for the moon in this case. I only wish for the fans to not be judge, jury, executioner all in one. Look at the whole picture and then base your thing on.
The whole picture was this only.
Actually, no, that is the thing. We are looking at only minute things very conveniently. And that is the whole issue.
Why? IPL, it was outdated.
As I had mentioned, the backdrop, look at the teams he was playing for. They didn't have a deep batting lineup.
Also, even Nicholas Pooran is playing over here. They don't have a deep batting lineup. He's still striking at 200.
Oh, but look at how many runs on average he scored. You have to look at all facets here. Is he right now the leading run getter?
No, but that's why I'm telling you, you don't need that. Who's more impact? Who would you want in your team? KL Rahul or Nicholas Pooran? Nicholas Pooran, right?
Has Nicholas Pooran won me anything? KL has
No,
at
but
least won me
there is
one
no
ICC
debate.
win.
No debate.
No,
I mean, we are again mixing apples because you're asking Nicholas Puran. Puran is different.
See,
Yeah,
it
KL is
takes
an all-format player.
like you
All
Puran's an
format. No,
all-format
I'm just
player.
asking about T20 cricket. You said T20 cricket, he was being wrongly criticized for. But that is not true. He was rightly
on current
criticized.
form, I would
I
on
don't
every
think he
form.
did anything wrong
On
in
every
the
form.
IPL to be criticized.
What?
KL Rahul, I don't think he did anything wrong.
Arey, he was always outdated. It was true. He used to
No,
play
not
the
always.
middle
Not
over.
I'll tell you why.
Not
On
always.
seasons
I'll tell you
with
why.
Punjab and
It takes a
Lucknow.
lot of consistency to get those runs and finish in the
He
top
was
four.
outdated last
Arey,
season.
what will you do with
Why
those
did
runs
last
if you're
season-
not,
But
they're not of any use?
there have been batters who have played more matches than him, have far bigger legacy as well, and their strike rates have been just around KL Rahul's mark. Like
They are also criticized.
Like you just said that it takes a good batter on a good wicket to get you runs rest, because there's so many batters who will come, but there's only a couple who will get 100, right, even on a batting friendly wicket. So point being that not every batter goes ahead and gives you, the kind of 500, 600 run tournaments that KL Rahul was giving you year after year in the IPL. It takes a lot of consistency and a good batter.
But
to
he's
hit
not
those kind of
different from
runs.
anybody who's not giving the runs, is what I'm trying to say.
And
in a T20 team.
when you look at the past few years, there's only going to be, at one point there was a Shikhar Dhawan who would always be there. You chucked him out of the Indian setup. You didn't like his strike rate that much, but you were okay with a couple of others operating at the strike rate that he would operate at.
No.
With KL Rahul, the problem was that his IPL numbers weren't awfully bad. He at least guaranteed you consistency, which is why I wanted him in the team as well, because
But that was the problem, na?
I'm guaranteed certain amount of runs.
Now to the
But
template is
what
suiting
was
to him.
happening on the international front with him, where his performances would be inconsistent, that would ensure that he wouldn't get the credit even in the IPL.
No, Punjab would used to end at 160, 170. He and Mayank Agarwal used to play till the 20th over. What advantage it was that of? It was no use. It all went in vain, and that's why he was criticized, and that's why he was dropped from
Again,
the team.
what
Now,
is the
those
legacy of Punjab Kings?
Arey, what's it to do with Punjab Kings?
That's
I'm
got to do
saying,
with
arey,
it.
the
Has nothing to
batting
do
was
with
Punjab
underutilized in
Kings and
Punjab.
LSG, you look at the teams that he's played for. Plain and simple, you'll understand.
Arey, I'm
that.
giving you the example of Lucknow Super Giants. This time, no other batter apart from Nicholas Puran is firing over there.
No, wrong. Mitchell Marsh.
Mitchell Marsh
Aiden
has
Markram.
just started to begin with. It was Nicholas Puran alone.
It
right
was
now.
Mitchell Marsh. You're seeing a totally different LSG.
No,
there.
how am I seeing?
First big knock was Mitch Marsh.
First
And Aiden Markram now.
But I'll give you the example of RCB. Historically, last 10 years, Virat Kohli has not been your most explosive batter or opener for that
Yeah.
matter. But what have you...
Have they won? No.
No, but what did you do? You tried having a system around him so that there are enough batters around him, so that even because he gives you consistency.
But
he gives you consistency, and I need those batters as well who give me consistency. I can't have every batter who goes, has a swing
By
over
that
there.
logic-
result shows is that they've not won it. You cannot have.
Have SRH won with that approach?
No. I'm totally agreeing.
So
You
are
need
you
to have
going
something in middle?
No, but that's what I'm trying to say. For everything there is a need, no? So have SRH won last season?
No.
They have SRH won this season. So, but
I'm-
is their approach wrong?
No, but what I'm trying to say that with KL Rahul, I think he was way behind the curve, and that's why I'm just
No,
continuing
SRH
what Sarath
according
Chandra
to you are
said.
on the curve. Now have they won?
No, they haven't won.
So then if he's giving an example of a Virat Kohli, then your logic just cannot be that they have not won anything. That does not mean that Virat is not essential.
Yeah.
If everything is going to be to winning, then you are a big backer of SRH, then that strategy should be thrown into the bin. Have they won anything?
No.
So that's what I'm saying. Everything cannot be said, oh, if they've not won, so then it's useless.
Rohit, with all the intent, is he your best batter in IPL history?
But I'll add another thing with RCB, for whatever trolls that they get, and they may not have won. But the one thing is they've been very consistent in terms of making it to the top 4. You need to give it to them. It again takes a lot for you to be consistently making it to the top 4.
No.
So something was right about that whole approach. And I can't believe, even with the impact rule, if you have 8 batters, 9 batters, that all 9 operate in the same gear. It can't be cricket then. Then you're playing some other sport.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But with KL Rahul, the problem was he was going too much into the shell, and when he was being criticized, it was rightly so, because he used to play the first over maiden.
They-
Then you
they
cannot,
were. I mean,
you
he's
cannot
right.
do that. And that was
There were
why
a
he
lot
was
of
being
occasions
criticized.
where
Those
he did
maiden
do that.
overs happened when he was playing in the Indian jersey, far more.
No, in the IPL for
IPL
Punjab
too.
as well.
IPL too, but I remember the time that with
So
India.
some
thing.
seasons he's been outstanding, and I don't think there's been issue with the strike rate. He's operated at 140, 150 strike rate, and I'm okay with that strike rate if you are the highest run getter for your team, which he was. But yes, some seasons, like the last season for Lucknow, I think left a lot to be desired. And if he was
Exactly.
questioned, that was fair. I think he's at a mixed bag of the season. Anyway, we spent like majority of the time talking about KL Rahul. We've got a lot more questions to take. Shivam, can we please get back to... Okay, Ashish Dar says, pink ball IPL, contest will be even between bat and ball. I like the idea. I'm already enjoying there's been a bit of an even contest. As I said today, I enjoyed watching the reverse swing Mukesh was getting. And so that in itself has made the contest very good. Spinners are getting a lot of purchase. Saliva is being allowed. Yeah, pink ball will be good. You'll get that. Lacquer will give you extra swing. Good idea. I like that idea. Yeah. Priyanshu has a comment. He says, we are lucky to see Stark and McGrath bowl together. I know what he's hinting at.
Yeah.
That is true.
Shubham Garg is saying, Shashwat values someone who scores 50 of 20 in 200 chase, but forgets other batters scored 150 of 100 balls. KL VK make base for hitters to finish.
Shubham Garg is in love with Shashwat, so I'll take his comments with a pinch of salt. That's... Mehraj rules from Canada.
Please, KL is done and dusted for international T20. These IPL performances are not worth it for someone who has been given longest rope. Ooh. Once the ball starts to move around, he'll be clueless and timid. But where in T20?
In fact, actually, no. But I think that can be the last of the criticism at KL Rahul, that he is clueless when the ball moves around. I mean, I can think of a lot of other batters who would be far more. Like, you can criticize KL for a lot of other things, which I will agree with. But criticism for him being clueless when the ball moves around?
Nah.
No. That's not a problem that KL has. His strike rate has been a problem. He goes into a shell. That is a problem. But him being clueless, the ball moving around, not at all. No, that's not it.
Say our Mirage anyway, IPL, it's a very, very schizophrenic outlook that you've got. Okay, players get selected on the basis of it, players don't get selected on the basis of it. So it's a very schizophrenic benchmark that you've got. So let's not read too much into that also. Shubham Garg, KL or Puran is such a vague question. Both have a different role. You can't have 1 to 7 with KL still, same you can't have 1 to 7 with Puran aggression.
No, I'll tell you what. The only thing over here is that I agree that different players have to need to have different roles. But on a day when you have to chase a big total, all the players should be able to adapt as well. If a Puran is not able to adapt to conditions where the wicket is tricky, then neither Puran is use of Puran as well. And if KL Rahul cannot adapt when you are chasing a big total, even he would not be one of the best T20 batters. If Puran on a day fails when you need to play a different sort of a role and he does not able to do it, then I think he will also be criticized. Same with KL Rahul. I personally, even today, I'm not sure if the Delhi Capitals are chasing 220, what role exactly will KL Rahul play, because I haven't seen that till now in this IPL. Neither have I seen
that he took you over the line with his 70 or...
Yeah, that day. I would want to see more if I want to have him back in the T20, Indian T20 team. Till now, everything has been in his radar, everything. And same thing is with RCB as well.
Signed him up for KL Rahul has done that.
But nobody is discussing Indian team now.
No, I'm saying for Delhi Capitals as well, if KL Rahul cannot adjust to a total...
the best batter that Delhi has.
Totally. There's nothing to take away from that.
That's it. That's where you are. He's playing to the situation. If he, on days he doesn't perform well, if it's a big chase, then of course we'll be here and we'll be criticizing it. Simple as that. Okay, Austin Kuna says, Nikhil sir, I had predicted at the start that RCB, PBKS, LSG, DC will be top 4, if you guys remember. Even if you don't remember, we can always check out those chats. But we believe you. He says GT may replace LSG or PBKS, he feels. It is. I mean, GT will be the top 4. That who they replace, we don't know. But he says 600k for sports today by end of April. It should. We are about 1,000 something away. Yeah. So if you guys keep showering your love on us, we'd definitely be 1,000 some k we are left with.
598,500 if I'm not mistaken.
There you go. So 1,500 odd.
Yeah, 1,500 odd.
Yeah, subscribers short of 600k. So that will be a celebration, yes. And thank you for your love and support. What else can I say? Right?
Indeed.
You can check this later.
Yeah. 1,200.
1,200.
1,232 more. Yes.
No, 1,132.
768.
768.
598, 768.
768. Acha, okay.
So 232.
Correct.
Yep. Shivamgiri section.
Comeback so good, even his stats said wow.
Good one. Yep, the tree.
I like that. I like that. Whoever came up with this.
Yeah.
It's a segment called Shivam Giri.
Yes.
I'm sure all of you must be used to it by now. All the memes of the day taken out by a producer. Which is what is this?
Rishabh Pant, 27 crores, Delhi opted out. And now 14 crores, KL Rahul.
Handshakes.
Oh, handshake.
Yeah, Mr. Farjindal and Mr. Grandi.
Mr. Grandi was a viral personality after the auction, after every auction.
Year on year, he's been the viral personality since
Somewhere
the
at
merger.
least grabbing the attention.
You know who's the guy beside Mr. Grandi?
Let me see.
Just go back, Shivam, just 1 minute. The one next to Mr. Grandi here, the one with the glasses.
It looks like Vinu Gopal Rao.
No,
it's
not
not.
at all. Not at all.
It's Hemant Badani for sure.
No.
No, the
Hemant
one with the
Badani is
glasses.
to the
Yeah.
extreme. No, I don't know.
Isn't it Vinu Gopal
No,
Rao?
No, it's not.
It's not Venugopal Rao.
No,
not
no.
at all. Not from any angle.
But that is Parjindal, right? Next to
Yes.
Mr. Grandi.
Yes. Today, Rishabh Pant came to bat at number 7 like Dhoni. Rishabh Pant took inspiration from Thala MS Dhoni. In fact, we said this on the show before even your meme came out.
Yeah. He's a huge inspiration.
I have noticed you copied my style.
Mr. Which is it from Game of Thrones?
I won't know.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you don't comment on that.
Huh?
Then I will share the the movie story. You want me to share? So no.
Yeah.
So don't take a guess on movies. Goenka to Pant.
थक गए हो गए बैटिंग करके ओह विवाह
क्या जल लीजिए
जल
Jalli. But see, so nicely they met despite the loss.
Good to see. Good. I'm
Yes.
happy.
KL Rahul motivation while batting today. व्यक्तिगत दुश्मनी है बदला तो हम लेंगे ही.
oh sir dabang
This is not Dabang. This
It
is not
is.
Salman.
I think
it is imposed Salman it is
Oh, अच्छा अच्छा.
Arbaz we
and
had
Arbaz
that was
in
the
the
clue
background.
हाँ Arbaz you can see. Yes. व्यक्तिगत दुश्मनी है बदला तो हम लेंगे ही.
yes
Oh my God, from Dabang. Pant bros switched position with Samad, who was doing well at his spot.
yeah
Ah.
exactly from 7 he put him to 4 and he demoted himself to 7 I don't know for what Guran
This was the best thing. Actually, I never thought of it.
yes
And we were discussing it in the dugout this evening. That what was it? What was it like? What? You're right.
Guran
now tell me, does this deserve a demerit point?
nahi
still
Amir Khan
does.
says
But
na,
in Gurang's case, he was doing a ramp
he was doing nahi but he
Ahead of time.
that was-
ahead of time.
he hits the ball
Ball
twice,
twice,
na
yeah.
तो आमिर खान says गुरा सिर्फ एक ही बार मारना है that's a resigned look now it's
illegal
called
batting.
flogging the horse this was what was it was
But see, he was ahead of his time. He's the one who gave idea. You can just
Douglas Muralier yaar
Douglas.
he was
Yeah.
the original he's the original avatar
Faridabad.
What
But
a-
this movie came out before that, I think.
yeah
This is 2000, and Douglas Murray played it in 2002. Wait, Lagan was which year?
2001 wasn't it
Still ahead of Douglas Murray.
but didn't he play that in 2002 yes
2002 in Faridabad.
Faridabad
I
yeah,
covered
yeah.
that game.
Ah.
I remember it.
Nahar Singh Stadium
Yeah, the
the old one. I think that was the only international
and
that
then
hosted.
yeah, no, must have hosted before that. But I covered that match with Douglas Murray. Got that 2002 year, and after that I went to Zimbabwe 2005, and I caught hold of him and I did a story.
Oh, that entire Ganguly fiasco series 2005
2005. I was there.
Oh,
the chapel.
oh yes
That happened in Harare. Yes.
yes
Harare has a beautiful one of the favorite grounds, the Harare Sports Club ground. They have a restaurant cum pub on the ground, which is part of the ground. It's called Keg and Maiden. It's awesome. So it's part of the ground. You can just sit. You can.
the pavilion end of Harare Sports
It's like an
Club.
Irish pub sort of a place. Yeah, and very nice. Very very nice. The ground's also very nice.
Yep. KL Rahul, always good to be back in Lucknow.
He's put that tweet out.
Yeah, indeed.
Wink wink.
Very.
After that.
Yes.
Always good to be back in Lucknow, huh? This is my ground.
Yes.
I wish he had marked his territory today as well.
3 seasons. Is that all? That's all. On that note, we're gonna bid you guys goodbye. It was great as usual having you give us company on our program Matchpoint, as is the case throughout this IPL. We look forward to your company tomorrow as well. Plenty other videos that have been put up on Sports Today. Do check that out. That are relating to IPL, to cricket in general, and other sports as well.
Yep. Tomorrow it's SRH versus MI at
Ooh.
Opal on a flat deck.
MI's chance to go number 3 on the points table. The one that he's most worried about. He's
So
been
let's
saying,
see whether we see a team
panicking.
get to 3 or we see a team get to 300.
That's gone.
That 300 won't happen.
Very interesting. I think today you
I just want
saw.
Mumbai Indians just to get knocked out as soon as possible.
Because Delhi have lost every time, not to Mumbai. That's
Not just
Achha,
that.
as a Delhi fan, you're
As
saying?
a Delhi fan.
Ah.
I think yesterday as well, the team batting second registered 159. Today as well, 159 was the score.
Oh yes, Kolkata GT. Yeah. It did.
Okay, we've got Mehraj Rules comment. We're going to take the final comment. He says, appreciation post for Sports Today team. You guys are like test cricket in the era of wham bang noise. Your target audience are less, but they are purist. We believe in quality over quantity, never change. Are, Mehraj, thank you so much for such a lovely comment, and comments like these that keep us motivated, keep us inspired, and keep us coming every day and blabbering for more than an hour. So it's all worth it at the end if we get comments like that. Thank you once again for being a loyal viewer, and he's been a viewer for a very long time.
Yes.
Karthik K is another one from the US. He says, Doug played the scoop of McGrath in 2001.
Yeah, 2 scoops he played in Perth, but Zimbabwe lost that game by 1 run.
Yeah. And he played here in 2002 in Faridabad.
Raja Nar Singh Stadium.
So we'll have to figure out whether that match happened before or Lagan released before.
But whatever it is, the original avatar of Douglas Murli was Guru.
I wish I could find all those old interviews and put it there.
Yeah, 2002. Ooh.
You won't have to go too far.
I'll actually have some very old ones here as well, which I haven't even. I may even have. Someday I'll sit and try and find. You know whose interview I might have from here is Kevin Peterson's interview before he played international cricket for England.
Oh.
Before he played.
He came for a Lions tour, right? In
Yes,
India.
so he came to play in the Dulip Trophy as part
Dulip
of
Trophy's
England A.
England Day, yeah.
So England backup team came, and Rodney Marsh was the coach, and the world record was made. So that's why I went to the Gurgaon Faridabad Road Terry Crown. That's where they played that match, and that's where someone that you just mentioned, Venugopal Rao, got a double 100 in a chase of 500, I think, somewhere there. I think I'll have a picture also with that scorecard. That was the highest ever chase in first class cricket, in the history of first class cricket, across first class cricket, county, Ranji,
lots of stories.
international. So he had come there and he had got a lot of runs in that tour, and I'd gone with the intention of interviewing him, and I did. I must say, at that time, for a person who had never played international cricket, he had some attitude, even at that time. He had never even played for England.
Maybe that just happens when you enter
He
India.
was a lot like Riyan Parag, as far as personality is concerned, not as a
No, I
player.
didn't get
I
to
think
know.
more
No, no,
brash.
He was far more brash.
Far more brash.
He-
Kevin
More.
Peterson.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Firstly, I mean, the
lots of
first thing I remember when he was like really tall, is very, very tall.
Match was held in 2002, and movie was in 1.
No, he's talking about he's talking about the Australia-Zimbabwe match in 2001.
Huh.
No.
Australia Zimbabwe was I think January 2001. January
And movie came out in?
July, I'm assuming.
So, Marelia beat Gura to the shot then.
Yeah, he did.
But it was like shot. The movie was shot.
But
even
Marelia
before
wouldn't have seen it, na?
Yeah. he didn't have BTS Budge. He didn't have the BTS of Budge.
You won't be saying Lagan, all movies.
No, but even if it did, it hadn't released, na? Behind the scenes shots, how will you see?
Firangi!
I remember. Have you seen Lagan?
Yeah, I have.
What is your favorite scene from the film?
Yeah.
But
That one. When that batter catches the ball and throws it with his hand.
eh?
There's the scene, na? While they're practicing, there's one batter who catches the ball instead of hitting it, just catches it and throws it out.
No, I think the first major scene that I look at is
No, but firstly, is that a scene?
no, there isn't a scene like that.
While they're practicing, when he assembles the team,
In the village.
in the village, and he tells the team that you have to hit the ball outside.
Oh yes, that dolki, that temple dolki.
That all I don't remember this much.
No, not kachra.
No. There was the mute guy.
Mute guy.
I remember that.
Who used to play the dhol?
Yes.
I remember that.
The worst fielder in the team.
I remember that Amir Khan hit that final six and it was caught, and then he realized that it's
He was
past
beyond
the
the-
boundary.
I mean,
Two of a no ball. It should have free it.
Sandeep Sharma reincarnation, Abdul Samad, Lagan Derby, हम जीत गए. No, my best scene is
It should be re-released, I feel. So many movies have
I
been
saw
re-released.
this movie on cricket. Have you seen Test?
Yeah.
yes.
What the documentary movie?
Yeah, the movie, the test, R. Madhavan.
Tamil.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dubbed in, recently released.
The Tamil movie.
Yeah, R. Madhavan is the
I've
scientist.
not watched the full thing.
And
right now.
Siddharth is that cricketer whose
Cricketer.
daughter.
Best player in Indian team.
Yes.
That time,
Arjun.
Did you watch Mr. and Mrs. Mahi?
No, I haven't.
That was also very
Rajkumar Rao, na?
Rajkumar and Janvi.
Kiran More
You
taught
talking
him,
about your favorite moment
I
from
haven't
Lagan?
Lagan is first over, okay. Batsman hits it. Every fielder is running after the ball. तो काय कर रहे हो? जहाँ जाती है गेंद वही एक भागेगा. And what's that? That chicken seller.
Chicken seller.
Yeah, Guran.
The one who would go
Who's a
around
best
catching his...
fielder. हाँ. तो he tells goalie, समझे कि नहीं? हाँ? They have that rivalry, na? But he stole the show, Guran. फिरंगी!
उंगली दिखाता है.
No, many of them have come.
Rajesh Vivek. When it was long back because he's no more.
Hmm?
That Lagan guy na, in science class में वो photo shoot करा रहे थे वहाँ पे जो वही थे वहाँ पे.
Acha, that was the other one. The father of the girl, yeah.
Oh yes. That Ved.
Where?
Ved, wicket keeper.
He was there. He was there.
Yes.
This time he was there. Yes.
I know.
Have you watched Selection Day? That is also very nice.
No, I haven't. That
This
was
is
a book
two
actually
brothers.
based on a book.
Yeah.
It's based on a book.
Two brothers, one wants to play, one does not want to
Yeah.
play. That one.
I haven't seen it.
It's
Yeah.
very nice.
It's Ashwin Sanghi has written it, or
No idea.
I can't remember.
Kai
Poche is
Iqbal
got
is also very good.
Iqbal, yes.
Yes.
Best appearance by Kapil Dev.
We did a timeout na on favorite sports movies.
Yeah.
In Kayamat se kya?
अरे
No, sorry.
Goal
जो
was
जीता
the
वही
best
सिकंदर.
यार. धन धना धन goal.
Terrible movie.
it was
जो जीता वही
Terrible.
सिकंदर.
when
Have
I
you
watched
seen-
it for the first
Have you
time.
seen Goal?
Oh yes.
The real movie
Yeah.
based on which they made.
Southall
Munez.
United.
Munez.
Santiago Munez. See that.
Yeah.
I'll see it today.
Beautiful.
Southall
Santiago
United.
Munez. You
No, but
love it.
the cricketing documentary in
Outstanding
that
movie.
sense, I think the best
And
one
both
was
the part two.
Best
also.
player ever.
But in that, the scene, like in Goal. the
Which one?
Santiago-
One or two?
One.
One.
Two has also got one amazing scene. The one scene in one is that he's playing for Newcastle. So he goes to the gym first time. He's in the A team. So he's in the gym. So he has to do the legs. So he's doing the legs. So he's doing the leg because in the A team. So the senior team comes. So there's a guy standing there.
अरे it was Alan Shearer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have to. So the guy standing there, he looks up. So it's Alan Shearer standing there. So he leaves the machine. So Alan Shearer goes. So
leg
first he
curl.
sees he's got some weights and he's doing with both his legs. So he puts the weight to the max, like wherever is the max, and does it with one leg like that. So he like stares at that. That's the level I have to go. That's a scene in 1, and 2 I like where he takes him to meet his friends in the bar. He says, I wanted to meet my good friends. And you know who they were? So there's Zidane, there's Beckham in the movie. So he says, come, I get you to meet my friends.
And then Bex walks in.
So he's like, oh, your friends? And he says, Zidane is there, and he introduces him.
And then he's like,
Brilliant.
the party's boring, let's go upstairs. And then they land in trouble.
And it's not a football movie, it is a human story. So it's, even if you're not a footballer, you'll love it. It's beautifully made.
Tomorrow then I'll watch my
Goal.
favorite, then Pele.
Santiago Muniz.
Yeah, I'll watch Pele.
Pele I've seen. But goal is more masala. Goal is more lagan.
Yes.
Pele is Iqbal.
That guy like
Goal is lagan.
Yeah.
So you have to see which one you want to watch.
Kachra.
Okay, too much. Priyanshu has the last comment I'll take. He's saying, जाओ भाई सो जाओ घर वाले पूछ रहे होंगे. Good point. Very valid point. I agree. Bye. Take care.
Nandri Vadakam Shubhratri
Shabba
Shabba
Khair.
Khair. Eat your vegetables.
And don't trouble your mother.
Stay safe and subscribe to Sports Today.